What up, fish people? Or what up, football freaks and sport freaks? What's going on, Ed? Skipper? Where's Skipper
Hello.
go?
Oh, not
He's
much.
sitting here talking to us the whole time, and then he goes blank when we go live. There he
I
is.
didn't hear it. I was doing something. Sorry. I apologize. Ooh.
It's okay. I'm booting us up so that way. Oh,
Hi,
four
Nona.
thumbs up. I can hear myself.
You can hear Echo?
I could. I was watching on the. I wanted to join so I could give us a thumbs up, and I could hear myself talking because it
Oh,
was
I
through
know.
the.
Yeah. On the,
Well, Spaghetti Nona, we tonight are going to have a huge night because we're going to decide who the greatest quarterback to ever play is. And TJ Autocross is in the house.
what
Hello,
up, TJ? That is one thing
Wait.
nice about the new channel. It only takes us about a minute and a half to say our hellos now.
Yeah.
You think a minute and a half?
Skull, Travis. I'm representing, baby. Skull Nation.
Chiefs Nation.
No
Actually,
love
it's
for
Red
his
Nation.
team. He has no love for his team.
Somebody stole his shirt.
Somebody stole his shirt. Skipper's like, what are y'all talking about?
No, I brought fantasy football up and it started talking to me. Or baseball. Oh my God. Fast forward.
Well, why don't we give it like 5 minutes or 10 minutes to see if anybody else joins us? And until then, we could talk a little bit about fantasy sports if we want.
Yeah, let's
Does
do
that
it.
work for you
Alright.
guys?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to click this. So last Sunday, we had our big fantasy baseball draft, and all three of us are in it. Kenny E, this is his first time ever, and he's in it, and he seemed to have the knack to always draft the player I had listed to pick up. It was so aggravating. Like, I really wanted my Kansas City first baseman, and I'm like, there's 20 guys between him, and, that were selected to be better in the draft, and then Kenny would still draft it. I'm like, it was pretty amazing, Kenny.
I wonder
It's
why we
pretty
go for all
amazing.
the Royals.
Yeah. Well,
It's like when we
Let's
play
see.
fantasy football, baby. I'm always going for Kelsey, Mahomes.
You're
What?
taking
There's-
it. You're
there's-
taking it all from me.
I just want to give you a heads up, though. There's a big difference between the Chiefs and the Royals when it comes to winning fantasy leagues.
He just did it to get to mess with you.
I know. Well, one team is like the top offense, and the other team's kind of the opposite. But Kenny still managed to pull off the guys that I wanted. I don't know if I've got a Royal on my team. Let's see. My team.
What up, Tampa Tom?
Oh, I got
Big Griffin.
Brandon Singer. So I've got a starting pitcher on my team. Oh, and
know,
I got
so-
the reliever, Scott Barlow.
Something else I think we should incorporate, and whether we want to do it like once a month or if we want to do it once a week, is I think like we talk whatever subject we're talking, and then for like the last 10 minutes, allow people that want to rebuttal it, drop a link in the chat and let them come up and say their piece.
Oh, that'd be awesome. And if anybody ever maybe has their opinion, that they just let us know. But that's a great idea.
Then we can answer
take
rebuttal
notes, guys.
questions, and
That might make us sound more legit than not sounding legit how we are right now.
we're pretty legit, I think. You
Hey,
know why I
Griff.
say we're legit? Because you two
Tampa
dudes are here with
Tom.
me on a Friday night. That has to be legit, you know?
It's legit.
That's all that matters.
What up, Griff? Good to see you, buddy.
But yeah, the draft was a lot of fun. We got a lot of the baseball season is the longest season and the most games. So it's just kind of a fun thing to do when there's nothing else to do in the summer. And that's what I love about baseball.
Funny thing is about it, we will probably still be playing fantasy baseball when our football league starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the playoffs are during the first quarter of football.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Crazy. But, oh well.
That'll be.
Well,
that's
I don't
easy.
know. Dude, so how do we want to pick the players? Do we want to pull a number out of a hat again for randomness?
No,
Or
what I think you should do is whatever order you picked, start at number. You said you got the top 14 there. I say start with your 14th best and work your way to number 1.
Okay.
And then we can talk about each one as you're bringing them up. And
don't share this yet until the player is on the screen, okay? Because we don't want to surprise or blow the surprise of all the pictures, okay? Skipper?
You just say when.
Okay.
Yeah, just give him a beard tug or something so he knows that's what his time is.
This is our baseball sign. Go like this.
Okay, now I got to get. Okay, this is the first player on my list, number 14, and I don't believe it's number 14. I would give him a higher score than 14, if you ask me. Tampa Tom is so cool. And Patty.
Miss Patty Cake's in the house.
Mrs. Donut Sock.
Shane's Takes and Bowls. What's going on, brother?
Oh, I didn't see Shane. Good to have you, brother.
And I'll tell you, I was at work and I got them all. My top 10 are right here. I didn't do 14. I did 10. But
you write incredibly small. I'm impressed.
But we shall see who you bring up as number. And then you said this is your 14th?
Well, not my 14th. This is just Google's random. I did top retired Hall of Famers or top Hall of Famers at quarterback position. And it might have, well, I don't know if it's alphabetical. No, it can't be alphabetical order. But the top one, I don't think is the top one. The last one's definitely not the last one. So if that means anything. And I can also bring up, I also saved everybody's stats. So, whoops. Oh, for crying out loud. There he is. Okay. This player he played 242 games, threw the ball for 61,361 yards and 420 touchdowns. Any guess on who it could be?
How many Super Bowls?
None.
And he's a goose egg. I can't even believe he made the list. No Super Bowls. Get him out of here.
No.
He made the Hall of Fame, but okay.
I'm teasing.
Pop him up there, Skipper.
This guy is one of my all-time favorites.
I think any kid growing up in that era, it was Marino in Montana, man.
Marino was mine.
He was so cool.
This man.
And a legit actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He played in Ace Ventura.
He was my number 8 on my list.
Hello, Peplin.
Oh, we got Pep. Pep, you made it just in time to be able to put your vote in.
So are we rating these 1 to 10, or are we?
We'll just give each individual whatever you think. Because, okay, I'm going to say if I had a team. Now, all these guys you're going to want in your team. So you can't really say, it's not like we're going against Elvis Gerbach will be the next player, some crappy quarterback. Every one of these is a Hall of Famer. So where would you want to play with him on your all-pro Techno Bowl team? I don't know. I used to love playing with him on Techno Bowl because he would throw the ball sidearmed and it would always come off crooked instead of like everybody else. Cool.
My favorite Tecmo Bowl quarterback was Bernie Kosar.
Oh, yeah?
that was back when I always played the Browns because the Browns were like the team to beat back then when Tecmo Bowl was out, you know?
Yep.
I wonder if I'm too young for this game.
Oh, my goodness. Kick them.
Probably.
No, because I don't remember it. Tecmo.
It was basically,
it's the
it
greatest
came out
football
before
game of all
Madden.
time.
It was like, it was cheesy as hell. I mean, there was no graphics. I mean, it was
What-
pretty much, you might as well have had X and O's
Well-
up there, but
What was it on Nintendo?
It advanced.
no, it was on
Origi-
Sega.
Yeah, well, they had it for the Nintendo
Oh.
also, the NES, but the Super Techno Bowl was best on the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. Yes, sir.
And it was called Super Techno Bowl, and you could even build your own characters.
I do
But
remember.
I don't
playing
think Marino was on Super Techno. I think he's retired. But okay, so I'm gonna say Marino's awesome. I think he just had bad luck. He was on teams that just couldn't win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna score Marino a solid 7 of all time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had him as my number 8 all time.
Okay,
All right.
8 points.
If
I didn't do my homework.
me neither.
That's all right.
We're in the same boat. We're gonna go off Ed's list, Pep. I didn't do it either. We're going to the principal's office. I'll see you in detention. But Dan Marino, if he would have been with the team he was supposed to have gone with, if they would have did it, was the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's from Pennsylvania.
Oh.
He played for Pitt. I'm giving Marino a 9.
Whoa, now
Whoa.
hold on. Are you guys? Because it sounds like you guys are bidding them for what you think they should get points. I thought we were talking all-time top 10. That's what I said when
Yeah.
I did number 8
Well,
of all time.
we'll
Oh,
add
you're
up the
doing that,
score.
sorry.
We'll add up the score.
One being the best, 10 being the worst.
Oh no, 10 being the best.
So we're rating
you
them.
can give more than one. Yeah, you can give people more than 1 5. Like there can be more than 1 5.
Oh, okay.
Like last week, we had more than
like,
one of
like
the
I
same.
said, Marino was number 8 on my list.
Okay,
of
so
all
I gave him an
time.
8.
So, all right.
So
So, but
so
the
far
thing
he's
you're
got
not
a 7,
understanding,
9, and an 8.
The way I did mine, number 1 is the best of all time, who I think the best quarterback is.
Yeah.
So,
The way he's doing it is he's going to add the scores up at the end
okay.
and see where
Then
I can find.
I know how to.
Like we did last week, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
this is how we did fish versus fish.
All right.
So I'm giving him a 9 because if he had been with a different team, he would have had quite a few rings.
Yeah, I agree.
He at that time when he went down there with Miami, he didn't have the right people. He played awesome. He did everything he was supposed to. The other guys weren't doing it. I followed the Dolphins a lot whenever I found Marino, and
sorry.
because I thought the man was awesome. He did great, and I just think he was with the wrong team.
My first pro jersey I ever got was a Dan Marino jersey. I asked for a football Chiefs jersey, and my mom went to the mall and looked at them and thought that the Dolphins had neater jerseys, so she bought me a
She liked the
Dolphins jersey
colors.
instead. She liked the colors, and she bought me a hoodie, a teal hoodie to go with it.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I'm sticking with the 9 with him.
Okay, Pep, what you say?
I'll say an 8. I have nothing else to say. He's all right. He had one good season. He's in my conference, so I can't say too much.
That was a 6.
Can't be having bad
That was kind
blood.
of cutting out on me. So 6. Okay. And then let's see. Does anybody in the crowd want to give us a score? Oh, there's Fantastic Freaks. Is he coming up?
I don't see him in the back yet.
Yeah, I hope
If
you
you're coming
survive
up,
the
Austin,
storms.
Austin said he'll
hey,
be up with
Maria
us here.
Z. And Mike's here. Mike
What
had
up,
a
Mike?
big start to this week, so I'm glad that he's able to hang out with us.
We got Jason here. We got Maria Z came in.
Oh, Jason, hi there. My dungeon master.
Oh my God, that doesn't sound good, Ed. Anybody that doesn't know you're talking
Dungeon
Dungeons,
master.
Dungeons and Dragons, they'll be like, "What kind of show is this? Talking sports, and now they're talking dungeons? What in the hell are we watching?"
It's a game.
Just got home from work. Be with you all soon.
Oh,
Okay, so Tampa Tom, would you like to give a random number for Austin? For how, because I mean, Tampa Tom, he's from the same state as Dan Marino. So he probably knows Dan Marino a little better than Austin.
Well, Ray Austin's down anyway since he's coming up here soon.
Yeah, I'm going to have to squeeze Austin in here. I'm going to cut Peplin's scores in half. There we go.
Why has he always got to pick on you, Pep?
So he knows
Well,
what's
he had the
coming this
biggest
season.
He had the biggest bracket I could just slice down the middle. Next one, if somebody else, if we get one more guest, I'm going to have to cut myself down the middle. But, well, and then we also need a group score. So, Maria Z, did you like Dan Marino? Maria's
Maria
probably
told
too
me
young to
earlier.
know who Marino is.
She's the wrong one because she told me earlier. She goes, "I'm only going to come in there to show you and my boys love. I'm not into sports. I probably won't stay long." So she's probably not the one to ask a sports question, dude, out of fairness.
She's probably too young, too, for Dan Marino.
She probably was. I mean, she's like, what is she, like 27, 28? How old are you again, Maria?
Oh,
Oh my God.
I think she's like
Guys.
33.
Listen, I'm glad I got my feet propped up. I'm just saying.
Oh, what are you talking about? Maria passes for at least a 20-something.
You are kissing some major butt right now. It ain't even.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I don't know. She's just too sensible to be in her 20s.
She beats me up when she sees me.
Isn't she married?
Okay, so maybe the crowd's not going to
Roxanne.
compete tonight.
Wake up, you
Nan,
15 wonderful
Tampa Tom says Dan Marino was before his time, too.
Whoa. Am I that old?
Ring about.
What? He younger than
How
me?
you- I thought Tampa Tom would still know who he was because that's all they talk about in Florida is Dan Marino. Okay, well, how about TJ Autocross? He's a young buck also, but maybe he knows who Dan Marino is. maybe this was a bad subject to go with tonight if nobody knows these players.
Who is that guy in Pet Detective?
That performance, I give him an 8.
Pete, was that Foxy?
Yes.
So you got an 8. Foxy's not on the stream. She's technically in chat. So you got an 8 from Foxy. Put the 8 down.
All right.
And Mike's Aquatics and things said, is that a -5? Listen here, you little.
And no Roxy. She's probably looking at, okay, this dude's good looking. I'm giving him 8 just because of his looks. That's what she's doing.
He looks
Yeah.
good in
Okay.
that uniform.
Look, he's a 3.
She's probably well, from here on out, we'll just figure whatever Roxanne's number is. That's the one she's thinking she would most likely like to see in like a Hanes commercial. You know what I mean?
Well, he did those gloves, and he did pantyhose commercials. I think he did pantyhose commercials.
He did. You're right. He did do pantyhose. So,
Yeah.
out of
Him
all
and
your
Joe
hosts,
Maynard.
out of all
The
the hosts,
ice guy, wasn't he?
which one would you like seeing doing pantyhose commercials?
That's funny.
Well, right now, Dan Marino scored a 43. And the next guy, okay, don't show this one. I'm going to drop me for a second. Okay.
Well, the thing with Marino, though, he was also a genuine dude. Of course, a lot of these quarterbacks back in the day were like that. You know, they weren't cocky.
I got a funny feeling Roxanne was voting for this guy. I'd like to see that commercial.
Okay.
He's way too old. That's
You want to guess who the next quarterback is?
I'm not into geriatrics, Kenny.
Oh,
Oh, poor Kenny. I don't want to hear people say that. That really makes him sad.
She put you in your wheelchair.
that's the way she
The
goes.
scooter.
And that's why I love me some Roxanne. You don't have to guess what the girl's thinking.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and that's why you love Danny, because she likes old guys. Okay. So this quarterback threw for 29,979 yards and 207 touchdowns. He was more known for his ability to run all over the field and leap. He has one record still in the NFL today for the longest punt in the history of the NFL. Okay, any guesses on who he is?
I don't know how he made this list with only 29,000 lifetime yards.
Well, maybe because he's the best Viking quarterback of all time. Click it.
Cunningham?
Randall Cunningham.
He only had 29,000 lifetime yards.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Well, I think he threw for like 5,000 one year with the Vikings. So how can that be?
He wasn't allowed to throw that much with Philadelphia. He ran about 900 yards and threw for about 2. He
Well,
was so throttled.
I'm sad to say that this guy didn't even make my top 10.
Well, that's okay.
But
He was still amazing.
What's up, Austin?
I will give him a solid
guys.
5, Ed. I will give him a solid 5.
Okay.
This is who?
Randall Cunningham
Oh, there we go. We're
made the
talking.
top 14 QBs of all time.
That's it. Considering we haven't, considering we have a Viking on the top there, I'm surprised Kenny didn't sneak him in the Vikings jersey there.
Oh, I did that.
I think Ed did
Oh,
it. Ed did it just
Well, then
to
I
torture
explained why we
me.
don't have the Viking.
I used to have a Randall Cunningham jersey. Randall Cunningham is my favorite quarterback to watch of all time.
All right.
But on this list, I think I'll give him a solid 5 also.
Is 5 like a higher grading or a lower grading?
We're doing like we did
It's a
last
middle
week.
grading.
1 is bad, 10 is awesome,
Gotcha.
and we're rating each one.
I'll give him a 5 also. Man, he was a good quarterback. He was good.
If we all give him a 5, it'll be really easy for me to add up.
Oh my god!
I'll go 5. I'll keep it going. That's what I was thinking.
Nice, Pep.
Yeah, he
Like
So
my,
far, though, just to throw this out, Peplin gave Dan Marino a 5. Oh, no. He gave Dan Marino a 6. I put you in Austin's spot.
I gave him an 8. You said 6.
I
Yeah.
put a 7 in the chat on Dan Marino, by the way. Yep, I
Oh.
gave Dan Marino a 7.
Ooh, Mike
Well,
Aquatics does not like Cunningham. He gave him a 3,
Yeesh.
Whoa.
and I think tonight that's what we should do, man. Whoever drops it in there first, that's who we're going with.
Yeah, let's do that. I
That
like
works.
that.
Because this is a competitive type show, and by God, if you're number 1, you should be heard.
Yeah, so that works. And what did Pep? Oh, Pep. What did Austin rate this guy?
I also said 5 for Randall.
Okay, so he's a 28, which makes sense. I mean, if Dan Marino is a 45, I think
Well, let's just do
28.
the math here. On that team the Vikings had that year, you switch Marino and Cunningham around. How many Super Bowls do you think old Cunningham or Marino would have won with that lineup of receivers?
Oh my God.
And that defense to back it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there would have been some Super Bowl rings in old
Oh.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
I agree with you. There was quite a few teams he could have been with that he, like I said, he just didn't have the correct lineup.
Okay, well, this quarterback threw for 40,551 yards and 273 touchdowns.
Mm.
Any guesses?
I can't guess.
Joe Montana.
Yeah. Oh, nice job. It is Joe Montana.
Nice.
Yeah, poor Skipper doesn't get to guess because he gets to look at him. Look at all those pretty rings. Okay. I'll start it, and I'm going to say Joe Montana. Gosh, there's a lot of good guys on this list, but
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give Joe Montana. If I would be watching football, if I knew this guy could be cloned and I could watch a game tomorrow of any of these guys, it would be him. I think I'm going to give Joe Montana a 10. He could just pick people apart. He was amazing.
And he had the heart of a lion.
Oh man, that dude.
Yeah.
But I'm only going to give him a 9.
Okay.
I'm with you, Ed. I'm giving this guy a 10 also. He had the he had the right people with him. The formula was great.
I put Montana at the bottom of the list so that way, because we would build to the best, and we start on the bottom. But that's all right.
Oh,
Uh,
my God.
What was the group? Who said first in group? A 3.
No, that was from
Cunningham earlier. He said 7 for
yeah.
Joe.
TJ just came in after him with an 8. So, but the 7's first I seen.
Me too.
Boy, that's harsh. I do. That's pretty harsh for Joe Montana.
Well, Mike demands a lot out of his players.
He does.
Okay.
I mean, if you're part of the catch, and there's a freaking the catch, you know you were pretty good.
I mean, he did also
he almost took the.
have how many
Oh,
seasons
sorry.
where he was thrown to Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made Jerry. He took a wide receiver from a crappy 3A school and turned him into a Hall of Famer.
I mean, Jerry Rice is probably also arguably the best receiver of all time.
Oh my.
Oh, come on now. Now we're stretching.
I
Well,
mean, Randy
that'll
Moss
be
is up
another
there.
week.
He's in the conversation.
Randy
Yeah, he is.
Moss,
He's definitely.
for the record, is the best receiver that ever played the game, period.
Ah, boy.
I couldn't give it to Randy Moss because he took too many downs off. If he ran every time, but there was too many times that he just walked when he knew he wasn't going to get thrown the ball. So that's where he loses a point with me. But I think Megatron was pretty awesome too.
Yes.
Okay.
We're turning it into a receiver debate out of
Yeah, there we
football
go.
night.
Hey, that-
Upland.
QB night, man.
Hey, receivers,
Ken.
that's next week, right?
10 for Joe for me.
Peplin's
He's definitely in the conversation for the 1 spot. So 10.
Who is?
Joe Montana.
Oh,
Austin.
See me, I'm a person that doesn't believe in perfection. I believe in excellence, as the great Vince Lombardi would say. But I'll give Joe a
I
9.
hope you don't tell that to Jesus.
oh my God.
Jeez.
Roxanne, help me.
Oh my
With
god.
Okay.
the exception of that. Without the
Oh.
exception of him.
8 pound 9.
A 9.
9 baby.
I'll give Joe a 9.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Straight out of left field.
Did you want me to get him a Band-Aid?
I don't know.
55 points for Joe Montana.
Makes sense.
He never
We'll
cheated.
see if
So
anybody can beat him.
Oh,
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I know, right? That was coming up sometime tonight because we're on quarterbacks.
because I know what's going to happen here. That's why I gave him a 10.
Yeah, somebody. I have a feeling somebody else is on this list, and Ed's probably
Okay.
going to score a freaking 0.
Okay, this player is another player that never won a Super Bowl,
Dun dun dun.
but he threw for 4,900 and 325 yards, 291 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, it is.
That's
He
291
hails from the
more
great
than I
state of
ever
California. Los Angeles is his hometown.
Mm.
He was born in 1956.
Oh, Jesus.
He was 6'3", 219 pounds.
I'm going to have to rate this guy off of stats because he's too old for me.
Yeah, like crap.
Well, let's see who he is. Warren Moon.
Oh,
Oh,
Ed, what did you do? Go find all the quarterbacks that managed to not get the Vikings a Super Bowl and just collaborate it. So I just get a painful after
That was
painful
purpose.
reminder.
That was on purpose.
I think he's out to
Ed,
get you, Kenny.
I think he's out to get me tonight. I'm beginning to think so.
He's out.
But
Eddie's the same thing as-
I personally will rate this guy an 8. I loved Warren Moon. I loved his tenacity. The guy believed he could win every game. He went into every game with that. I don't care if this guy was down 60-0 at halftime. I wouldn't put my money against him not to come back.
So what years did he play? Do you have that?
I don't have that.
Well, the thing that he put up incredible. I think he was, what was he, number 4 all time on the NFL
For a
yardage
long
list?
time, yeah.
But keep
Yeah,
in
he was-
mind, he played like, what was it, 3 years? Was it 3 or 4 years in the Canadian Football League before he came to the NFL? And he won like 4 championships up there, broke every record there was up in Canadian Football League, and then came to the NFL. So I mean, the guy, if you put his resume up, he was quite a quarterback.
Yeah, and
This thing's
Kenny,
right.
you were saying that I was showing you a bunch of guys that didn't quite make it for Minnesota.
There's going to be one more.
I just had Montana and now have Moon, 2 guys that didn't do it for my Chiefs that came close. So I feel your pain. But
Well,
Skipper, if you don't know him, just give him a middle of the road score.
no, I do remember him. I'm just trying to remember what years he played.
Ooh, Mike Aquatics came in first on that one. He's saying 6 from the crowd.
Oh.
He played up to 83.
Oh my
so
God. Austin,
I'm
do
at
you see what
93.
Tampa Tom to put as a receiver of all time?
5.
no.
T.O.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna give him a 5. I do remember a lot of the playback stuff whenever they used to show the stuff, and I remembered how he played. You know, just seeing clips. I'll give him a 5 because I was 1 year old when he quit, when he retired.
Wow.
Did
I
you
was
say
in high
1 year old?
Yeah.
Okay, Kenny, what did you score him?
8.
Oh, 8. Okay, and then we still have Austin and Peplin.
Brian, they
What
keep-
did you say?
I'll go 6. A little better than Moon
6?
or than Cunningham.
All right. Well,
Little
I'll
before
admit-
my time.
I'll admit I don't know a whole lot about him too, so take my words with a grain of salt. But I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
Liza, I don't know a whole lot about Moon, confessingly.
Well, he scored a big 36. That's not too shabby for Mr. Moon.
No.
Hmm.
Hello, Jennifer Weaver, Scuba Steve-O. Thank you for joining us.
What's going on, guys?
What would have been perfect is if Warren Moon threw that touchdown pass to Randy Moss when he mooned the crowd.
Oh,
Moon
that
to
would've been
moon.
good.
That would be hilarious.
That was one of my favorite. Right when that play happened, I had my Green Bay Packer uncle on the phone, and he lost his mind. He's like, that guy is so classless, so classless. 5 years later, when he was leaving Minnesota and we were looking for trade suitors, my uncle was begging to get him with Rogers up there.
Rogers and Moss would have been insane.
This guy had an
insane.
incredibly short career because I don't think he started until his late 20s or maybe early 30s, but he had 32,344 yards and 208 touchdowns and maybe three Super Bowl wins.
I think
Any guesses?
Elway.
Well, if you said 2 or 3, how long ago are we talking?
We're talking within the last 20 years.
yeah,
Okay.
we would remember him.
That's Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Good job, Kirk
Yeah.
Warner.
This dude was
I
good.
feel like I need to hand in my Iowa card there. He was a UNI Panther.
Yep.
He also was a Iowa Barnstormer.
This
I-
is
I-
another
in
guy.
the Arena League
Ed.
in Iowa.
Yes, he only
Yep.
spent the time that he did in the NFL, but the guy played arena football for
Yep.
like 8 years before he came to the NFL. And then he'd given up on that. And when the Rams found him, he was stocking groceries in a freaking grocery store.
Yeah.
This dude's story is crazy.
And I
Like,
think you're right.
I got to see
Underdog
him
story. It's awesome.
Did
a
he
few
win?
times on the
I
field.
know he won one. Did he win one with Arizona or no? Did he just went to the Super Bowl? Or did he win
He
a
just
Super
went to
Bowl?
the Super Bowl with
Went to
Arizona
the Super-
because, yeah.
So I think he's
Fitzgerald-
only got 2, Ed.
Yep,
with
2.
the Giants and the Rams.
Just the Rams.
I think he only won one with the Rams because they chased Vermeil out of town because they thought that idiot offensive coordinator was the reason why the Rams were so good, and he tanked the Rams.
Monty Schottenheimer.
Oh. No, not Schottenheimer. What was his name? He was such an idiot coach. He was so arrogant. Martz. Was it Mike Martz?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yikes.
He was. Everybody in St. Louis thought he was the reason why they won the Super Bowl because he was one of the new additions to the team, and he said he was going to leave and become a head coach. So they asked Vermeil to retire, and the Rams dropped like this. And Martz chased off Warner. He chased off everybody. He was a moron. And
Dude.
the Chiefs became super good because Vermeil went to Kansas City. So I have watched him and he was amazing. I'm going to give him a 9 because I don't know if there's many quarterbacks I'd rather watch. I just wish his career would have been 10 years longer.
So he did get 2. One was with the Rams and one was with the Cardinals.
Okay, he did win with the Cardinals. And I
One
thought
more.
he lost with the Giants.
I thought he got both of them with the Rams.
So he
He lo-
did get one with the
he-
Cardinals. I thought he did, but I
I
couldn't.
know he got to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals, but I thought that was like the game where like Santonio Holmes made like that big catch.
Well,
I
who
think
cares?
They played
Just give him
against
a score.
Pittsburgh, 2 of them, didn't they?
No, we lost to Tennessee, or they beat Tennessee with 1 yard to go in one of them. And
That
was
was
it
when it was-
Jackson? Did they also beat Jacksonville in the Super Bowl?
Hmm.
It was something really bizarre. Well, nevertheless, I'm going to give him a 9.
I think
What-
I have to
what
give
do you
him a
want
9. I'm going to go a 9 too because he was tenacious.
9.
And he's a darn nice guy. It's just too bad his wife owns his butt.
Yeah, poor fella. I'm also going with the 9, Ed.
Wow.
I remember watching him. He was
It's just sad he had such a, he started so late in life.
yeah. But you know what? I think it was probably good for him now. I mean, think
Yeah.
about that short time frame. Look at the stats he got.
I'm just too busy watching Peplin, man. He knows who I'm going to give a 10 to, and he's just down there fuming. He cannot wait to diss the guy. I can see it in his eye. Him Him and Ed
Okay,
both are
Pep.
like salivating, man. They're just waiting for that guy to come up.
We'll see
What
what
do you say,
happens.
Pep?
We'll see what happens. I'll give him an 8. I don't want him to
8?
creep above Montana. I like Warner. I remember watching him.
I gave him 1 point below Montana too.
But
Okay.
this is another guy's teams. The two teams he had. Some of the quarterbacks we gave lesser score. Like let's say you throw Marino in this guy's 2 teams that he had and he went to the Super Bowl with. I think Marino would have killed him.
I mean, Warner had what? Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holton, and Marshall Falk in the backfield.
Yes.
Marshall.
That was an amazing
Dominating
offense.
defense. Dominating.
And they had the little slot guy, the little white guy. Oh, what was it? Started with an A.
Okay, so
amazing.
Amendola.
Yeah.
Amendola. He was awesome too.
Mhm.
I just found some other stats on Kurt. He only won 1 Super Bowl. He won 1 Super Bowl with the Rams and took the Arizona Cardinals to the first time ever Super Bowl appearance, and they lost.
Oh.
Okay.
And he did make it there 3 times, 2 with the Rams, 1 once, and then that's all. That's all he won.
Shit, we better get this guy down. He's dropping rings faster than we
Uh-oh.
started off
Teflon
with 3
hasn't
and he's
given us-
down to 1, man. He ain't gonna have any by the time we're done here.
Wait,
I'm
did Teflon
still-
give him
I'm
an
still-
8 or was that Austin?
Yeah, I was an 8.
Okay, Austin, you're up.
Yep. I'm also gonna go on 8. I love Kurt. I can't put him up in the same grading as Montana though. He was good. He's one of the best to do it, but Montana is probably.
If-
I can't put him up there the same category as Montana though.
Well, he still scored well. He got a 51. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all.
And you
Okay,
you
let's
the
drop
Jags.
While that's going on.
And the next one. Wait, hang on. I gotta pop him up. Whoops. Okay. Okay, this one. Let's see if I can find his stats. And I had to go with basic stats because everybody had so many different types of stats. Here he is. He threw for 71,940 yards, had 539 touchdowns.
Wow.
That's a lot of touchdowns. And I don't even know how many Super Bowl wins, but he's got some. So
Drew
any
Brees?
guesses?
We're
Drew
not-
Brees?
we ain't talking about the guy that just retired, are we?
Breeze?
No, not Breeze. The other B
Nope.
word.
Well, you know it ain't him. He's got 7 rings.
Oh, he said a lot of Super Bowl wins. So I mean that qualifies.
I'm not for sure how many Super Bowls. I just know he knocked the Chiefs out year after year.
What was his team?
Okay, his team, he played for the Volunteers. Pop it up. I
Peyton
almost
Manning.
called you Penny.
What?
Manning's got
There he is,
Super
Peyton
Bowl to
Manning.
his name, does he not? I think he only has 1.
He never won any with. Oh no, he won one for Dungy in Indianapolis.
Oh,
He
that's
had
right.
one
you're
in
right.
Indy
He won
and one
the-
in Denver, right?
Yeah, he
That's
got
right.
one in Denver. He got one in Indy.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
2.
And I think he went to 4 total Super Bowls because I think he went to 2 with Indy, got his butt whooped against the Seahawks the first time they went there, and then they got the second one against Cam Newton and the Panthers.
And he
He
kept,
was handed that one in Denver, though. Didn't he just play the playoffs or came in real late that season?
he came in late that season because he was hurt from the last season, and they weren't sure if he was going to come back. But since they were getting close, he got up there, and then because he was healthy, because he rested half of the season, come back, they put him starting, and he ended up winning the stinking Super Bowl. He played the following year because he wanted to get another ring, and because he didn't, he finally stepped down.
Well, his arm was like butter by the end. I mean, he
Yeah.
had no arm left.
And didn't he have his neck
Smart on the
fused
field, too.
together?
You know?
Yeah, he had his neck
General.
fused together. I
That-
promise you that guy's feeling pain today. I mean, it,
If I remember correctly, it was his last season. He had to get that neck done.
Well, Skipper, what you gonna score this guy? I gave him a 9. I would love to have. I wish he would have been a Chief for all those years.
See, this is getting hard because man,
I-
he was freaking good.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
one of
really good.
he's one of the all timers. That's why he made this list.
he was
I gotta
on my
give
he was my number 3 of all time.
I'd say he's got to be top 5 all time for sure. Because I mean, he's got the most MVPs out of anybody in history. I believe he has 5.
What I liked about Peyton
Wow.
was Peyton was the ultimate team player.
And he was nice.
He was. I mean, he was the ultimate. You never heard him talk me. It was always the team. Never did me come out of his mouth.
No, never did. And I'm going to give him a 9 also. He deserves it.
Well, he is going to get
My
my
mom
first.
would have
first-
given him a 10.
I was going to
My
say
mom loved him.
he's my first 10 of the evening.
Oh. Okay. What did the group go with?
No,
I- But something interesting.
is that
I don't-
one?
Warner was 8 and Tampa Tom. Nobody's got a score for him yet.
We haven't seen a score. So if you want to give Peyton Manning a score, you can influence his quality of career. Okay. Well, Peplin, what do you think of this guy?
I'm gonna go 9 for Peyton.
Ooh.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could call his own plays. He was just amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
he's smart.
Austin.
I mean, you kind of took it right there too. I mean, I just remember so many plays there too where he was calling out like shifting up the offensive line protection, sometimes changing receivers route because he could see like what the defense was going to do, like as he stepped up there and such. Which I mean, what other quarterback does that? Rodgers never
was the
hasn't
best
done that.
at that.
Mahomes doesn't do that. Brady doesn't do that.
Right.
I know what I said earlier, but Manning, I'm giving him a 10.
He
Yeah.
deserves it.
There's a
Okay,
reason that
and-
won 5 MVPs. That dude, I mean, if he would have been on any other team that gave him better,
Ooh, my God. Somebody just screwed him in the audience, and he is the first person to speak. Just gave him a 1 because he's a pompous ass.
Who did that?
Mike,
Like,
hey man, we
Oh,
gotta
Mike.
we gotta keep we gotta keep the same rules, though, man. He's the first one to speak.
Yep. So, well, it makes it real easy to add ones. So let's eat.
Oh, that sucks for me. Poor Pete.
You got a 49.
Oh my goodness.
that's it.
Kurt
He
Warner.
was 2 points
officially-
behind Kirk Warner. But you know what? Kirk Warner probably would have had twice as many Super Bowls if he would have played as long as Peyton.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
hell, in
right.
that case, I'm going off the scale. I'm giving Peyton Manning a 15. Screw that.
Oh, I'm going to the wrong thing. Okay.
I tell you what, Ed, you picked some pretty hard ones for this.
Yeah. I mean, that was another guy that had some pretty good weapons. Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Marvin Harrison. I honestly don't know how that man only had 2 rings when he retired.
And
Well,
their
I do
defense,
because he never had
another,
that great of an offensive line sometimes.
another
Minus Jeff
strong
Saturday,
D.
but-
Now, this player changed the way football was played.
Michael Vick.
He had 37
I was just thinking that too.
35,467
Bentley.
yards.
Bentley.
Hey, Ben. And 237 yards or touchdowns. But he did something that nobody else did. He started the no huddle offense. Any guesses?
Oh, I should know that.
Who cares?
No.
He made it to 3 consecutive Super Bowls.
Give me his college.
Well, let's see. It might be here. Pittsburgh. Oh no, he was born in Pittsburgh. He was born in Pittsburgh, PA. In 1960. He's Irish.
And he played his college football where?
I don't know. It doesn't have that.
Ah, shoot.
He was 6'3", 217 pounds.
Damn, almost sounds like a Ben Roethlisberger-esque body. I mean, I know that's not him, but
Doug Flutie.
Let's pop him.
This guy did have a Ben Roethlisberger body.
Jim Kelly.
Oh, he was close. He was the predecessor or whatever.
So you kind of gave it semi-inaccurate stats. It's technically true that he went to 3 Super Bowls in a row. He went to 4 in a row, sir. He went to 4 in a row.
One was Flutie, wasn't it, in Buffalo?
No, all 4 were Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is like one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to win a Super Bowl. He went to 4 in a row and lost all of them.
hey,
I didn't
4 Super
realize.
Bowl
I thought he
losses.
did
Who else
4 in
did
5
that?
years. But yeah, well, I guess he still did
this
4 in
was
5
the
years,
80s when the
in a row.
Cowboys and the 49ers were like unbeatable in those years.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, he lost to Montana and he lost to Aikman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the very first one they lost off of an unfortunate kick, right? I mean, in theory, statistically speaking, they should have won that game, but football happens.
Unfortunately.
So what I'm going to do is, since Bentley's here late, I'm going to divide all the first guys by 6, their scores, and then at the end I'll divide all these scores by 7, and we'll see what got the most individual score.
How
Does that
far
make
are
sense?
we into it?
Just take 5 minutes
We're
and have
halfway.
Bentley give the scores.
Hey, there you
Let
go.
him catch up.
Okay, that'll work.
What am I doing?
Bentley, you're going to do a they're thinking
one
about
being
what the
the worst,
score.
10 being the highest. How you rate each of these quarterbacks? 1 being worst,
What do
10
you-
being best.
What do
Okay.
you rate Jim Kelly?
7,
Okay, Peyton Manning,
8,
Kirk Warner,
6,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Warren Moon,
7,
But he's a Seattle
Joe
fan. I can see why
Montana.
he'd love
Montana, 8,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Randall Cunningham,
4,
and Dan Marino.
9.
All right.
Help Dan. Let's see. So while you guys discuss Kelly, I'm going to add up the scores again.
Well, what did you rate Kelly, Ed? You didn't tell us.
I rated him a 3.
Wow.
That's brutal. Jim Kelly? Are you kidding me?
He didn't win.
A
Well,
hot take.
I thought I was brutal. I was
What
giving
the
him
hell
a
did he do
6.
to Kansas City?
So wait a minute. If your whole thing is if they won, then basically almost every Chiefs quarterback sucks.
This is the greatest quarterback of all time. They need a ring. They need a ring.
Yeah,
No,
I for that reason, I can
It-
only give him a 6.
I've already said that he's in the top 14 of all time, but they all can't be 10s. They all can't be the top guy.
I'd give him
And-
4 because that's how many Super Bowls he lost.
Oh,
I was a huge
That's not
Buffalo
what I'm actually
fan
giving him,
too.
I'm just saying. If you were doing a hot take, that's what I did.
Sorry, Jim. I'm only a 6.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, you guys can keep going. I'm just going to keep adding.
So, Skipper, what do you rate them?
I'm giving him a 7.
Wow.
Hmm.
What about you, Peplin?
5.
Ooh.
Buffalo.
Austin gave him 4. Now I'm anxious to see
No,
what
no,
Mr.
no, no,
Bentley.
no. I didn't give him a 4. I was saying if I was doing like a hot take, he should have made a joke and went 4. I'll give Kelly a 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what did
Ben-
I don't have a group score
Oh,
yet.
Bentley already went before all of us. That's right.
I don't have a group score yet.
Let's see. 5.
In the words of Joe Namath, I've got a quick release.
Oh no, excuse me. Tampa Tom came in ahead of Mike this
Well,
time, and he
he-
gave him a 9.
He put,
Damn, Tom.
Ooh,
well, he
he's
put
a
that
big
9 in.
buffalo.
He put that 9 in before the quarterback was popped up.
Oh,
Oh.
he did.
Yeah, he
Was
didn't
he, was he just assuming it was Tom Brady?
probably.
Oh.
We're gonna have to go with the 5 for the group one.
Oh, what's interesting is with Bentley's score, now Peyton Manning ties Kirk Warner with both with 57. And Jim Kelly got a nice solid 47. So you could see that Jim Kelly being 10 points under Peyton Manning. At least I can.
Montana still on top.
Montana is 63 right now.
Hmm.
So let me I gotta figure out who's the next one.
How is he 63 if we got 6 people right now?
And the chat.
Oh, the chat. Gotcha.
In the
gotcha.
chat. So Matt
Chat's
points
busy
at
throwing
70.
everything off.
Oh, I was sitting here like, wait a minute.
That's the fun
Not
of
a
chat.
mathematician, but.
Okay, and
This math does
let
not-
me find some basic stats for the guy. He had 51,475 yards and an even 300 touchdowns.
Oh, this dude.
Drew Brees.
No.
And I don't know. We got to owe this dude out of Skipper. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he's a GM, or is he I don't know if he's a GM or a president.
Thought he
Oh,
was an owner.
Elway.
Elway.
There we go. John
Just
Elway.
overbite
I
himself.
thought he was an owner.
The horse face.
Okay, I'll admit the guy could play ball, but as far as being a man, I give him a 0. And I'll tell you why. He was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, and he refused to go play for them.
You want to go play
I
for the
mean-
grown-up ponies?
There are a number of quarterbacks who have refused to play for the teams that drafted them. It's not just Elway.
I know, but it bothered me. But as far as a player, I'll give him a solid 7.
Okay. Well, my opinion of Elway was the first year I moved to St. Louis, and I was going to cheer for whoever that I went to a big party, Super Bowl party, and so I was going to cheer for the AFC. So I went there dressed in Denver outfit, which is the only time I ever did that in my life. But everybody at the party was a freaking 49er fan. They destroyed the Broncos so bad, Elway was crying at halftime. You wouldn't believe. He was literally crying on the sideline.
Hence the
And
other
I
reason
was in
for
a room
7.
with like 50
football players. don't
49er
cry.
fans. So I'm not a fan of Elway. I'm going to give him a 3.
Ooh, my goodness.
So your gauge is 100% on one party full of 49er fans and nothing to do with his actual statistical ability.
Hey,
Yeah, that's what
hey,
it
Bentley, we
affected
didn't
my
say
life.
this. The
Oh, Ed.
AFC, baby, does it their way. We don't care. We're not politically correct. We
Oh,
all got
boy.
our reasons. That's why it's a panel, man.
This is what Ed does. Okay?
Yeah.
My.
I mean,
Well,
Ed
Bentley's been in Fish versus Fish.
Yeah. I'll give him a 7.
Ooh, that's nice. He's up to a 10.
I gave him a 7.
So 17.
Oh, I thought you gave him a 0.
No, he's a 7. I said he's a 0 as far as manhood, a 7 for his playability.
Gotcha.
Ed's playing a different game than the rest of us, I think.
I think he is.
He won't even
I
write
don't
down the
feel
scores
it.
when the other guy gets up.
I'll go 7 with you guys.
He's playing with a 7. If everybody
Mike-
says 7, it makes the math easy.
Mike made an 8 for Elway.
An 8 for the crowd. I also just hate him because he beat my Chiefs so many times.
Exactly. I knew it had something to do with damn Chiefs. Freaking knew it.
And he's from Washington
Washington State or District of Columbia?
State.
Hmm.
Port Angeles, Washington.
Ah. He looks like a Pacific Northwest guy.
Yeah,
I
he's a
don't,
big
I don't
surfer.
think you know what Pacific Northwest guys look like.
I know I'm BSing.
It's-
Well, if
Blonde
it's
and
Portland, I
fancy,
mean,
just like you.
I mean, he kind of
Surfer
does.
guy.
I mean, if I shaved off the beard and all that, yeah, probably pretty close.
Your skin's not pasty enough.
That's true.
the Pacific
I'll give
Northwest guy will rock
Oh.
the kilt and have a Metallica shirt on and
And a bright pink mohawk.
carrying a man purse and wouldn't care the least.
Austin, what's your opinion?
I'm gonna go with Mike. This dude had a cannon. I mean, an absolute rocket launcher for an arm. So I'm gonna go 8.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean, I
Okay,
would
Ben.
give him a 9, but he beat Brett Favre and my Packers in Super Bowl II. So Ed, you and I both got a little hate on this guy.
All right. So I want to give some context like Ed did. Back when I used to go to a number of Super Bowl parties with a really specific group of friends, the 2 times that Elway won his Super Bowl, I was the only contrarian rooting for the Broncos solely because no one in the room was. Because I'll be that guy if I have to. I will play devil's advocate.
That's fun.
And both
I love
times I felt
That's
quite
easy when they-
vindicated.
It's easy
However,
when they win,
However, I think that you're paying attention only a few things. And one thing you're neglecting, while he has 300 touchdowns, he threw like 220 or 230 interceptions. He's got a cannon, but he's inaccurate as a mother. 4.
yeah. Unfortunately,
Also,
the bios I'm using don't
fuck
have
his horse face.
many stats.
There's your problem.
Yeah.
He's so wildly inaccurate. Like, yeah, he could hurl the ball like 80 freaking yards, but 300 touchdowns and well over 200 interceptions, like
Brett
Nah.
Favre.
right. And I would rate Brett Favre similarly low.
I mean, Brett
He's
Favre was
also
one
a
of the
trash
longest
human
tenured
being.
players.
What a coincidence!
Well, what's your score?
He said 4.
Oh, 4.
Like golf, 4.
Well, he ended up with 44 as his score.
Yarr.
Wow.
Well, that worked
Bizarre.
out.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let me
Sounds
to
so
the
nice.
next
You had to
guy.
say it twice.
I didn't know that about him, Bentley. I did not know that.
That he threw that many interceptions?
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, I remember. So, as a Seahawks fan, back when we were in the AFC and we would get mercilessly destroyed by the Broncos left and right, he would still throw interceptions like crazy to our secondary. It was like, why? Your team's so much better than ours. But Seahawks, the only good player on our team is Cortez Kennedy. What are you doing?
Yeah, I never knew that about him. That's crazy.
Oh, many painful
longer.
years as a Seahawks fan. Vindicated now by a singular trade to the Broncos. That's good.
Okay, this
Patience is a
player,
virtue, boys.
this guy is so much better than Elway stats. He completed 64% of his completions, which is pretty good. He had 64,000 yards and 88 with 418 touchdowns.
Wait till you see what I got to say about this dude.
He was big and he could tell the time at 6'5", 240 pounds. Who is
Skipper's
this
boy.
guy?
Skipper's
Ben
boy.
Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlis cheeseburger.
Yep. Was that too obvious when I said he was big and could tell time?
Can I go first with this one?
Go right
Yes.
ahead. I am all ears.
By all means, member of the correctional institution family, I would love to hear your opinion.
He's a
Likewise.
5.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
The only reason why he was as good as he was because of the wide receivers. They could catch even whenever he threw it over them. Listen, oh man, you know how many times I almost wanted to throw shit through a TV because of him.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, I know he won Super Bowls, but it was because of the team. It wasn't just because of him.
I don't agree with that one, Skip. I think this guy goes to any of my Vikings teams that were good over the years. He would have won a Super Bowls, guaranteed. The guy had an absolute. I mean, he was a tough son of a gun. I mean, you think about the amount of hits. I can't tell you how many times I watched this guy get hit, and I thought for sure he'd be out of the game. He'd go take some smelling salts on the side of and be back by the second quarter. Most quarterbacks would have been down and out for the rest of the game. The guy was tough. He won what, 2 or 3 Super Bowls?
Good question.
I think it was 2, but
I think it was
He
2.
probably would have won more if he didn't break his wrist on his motorcycle.
Or,
Didn't he mess himself all up.
if he didn't totally not sexually assault some women.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
he's gonna rape you.
I know that's why you said what you said, Bentley, but that's not why I gave.
well, all that beside, as a football player, I'm rating this guy an 8. I will give him a solid 8.
Whoa, Kenny.
I can't.
Big Ben won 2, by the way.
Who's 2?
Yep.
Those.
Super
The group
Bowl.
said 2?
Mm-mm.
Who says 2?
He won
Oh,
2.
No, that's how many Super Bowls he won.
Oh, okay.
He went to I want to say 4, at least 3, but
Oh man, Mike just barely beat Scuba Steve, but he beat again. He went a 6.
Steve-O a little generous on that
Wow.
rating, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say Steve-O's a Big Ben fan. He gave him a solid 9.
Man, sorry, Steve-O. Okay, how about what's Peplin think of this guy?
I'll give him a 7 for the 7. I like Ben. Maybe drug it out a couple years too long, but
Yeah.
it's a good player. I'd take him.
Yeah, but he had to get all those 8s behind his numbers. Okay, Austin?
I'm same way. He's got 7 on the jersey, so I'm giving him 7 for a rating. I remember this dude would be like, you'd almost sometimes need 2 pass rushers to sack this son of a gun sometimes. This dude, I mean,
He could
he
get
could
the
tell
ball
time
off.
like Big Ben, but he was about as strong as the clock tower, too.
And he's another one that stole a Super Bowl from the Pack, wasn't he?
No, like the opposite. That's the one that Aaron Rodgers beat for the Super Bowl.
Okay, I knew they played. I couldn't remember if they lost
In
or
Super
not.
Bowl 45, to be precise. Not that I'm counting the years.
Well, Bentley? How do you
Yes.
feel about another almost bent name?
Trying to stack the odds.
There's a
this guy
bend in
will
the
work-
name.
Well, you see, Roethlisberger, yes, he was a tough man. He took a number of hits, including from the turf when he skid into a touchdown that somehow was a touchdown and totally was not down fucking 3 yards short. I'm not bitter or anything. It was just our first Super Bowl appearance. And of course, we're going to give the bus, Jerome Bettis, a ring. And I respect Bettis, but I do not respect Ben as much as the rest of you. He is better than our previous quarterback in that he only has about a 2-to-1 touchdown interception rating, which puts him at a relatively high passer rating, somewhere in the 90s, if I remember correctly. But I will give him a 6. One less than that number indicates, because maybe it's because I'm a Seahawks fan.
Well, I'm going
Son of a
to
bitch.
respect what Skipper said about him and give him a 5.
Wow. Brutal.
Because I like Skipper better than I like Ben. Okay.
Oh.
I'm waiting for Kansas City to come in here somewhere.
Well, he won't because this is
Other than
past
Mahomes,
quarterbacks.
who you
He's got
putting there?
nobody
I
to
mean, we
talk
already
about
did
other than
Montana.
Montana was there.
Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, other than
Montana was there
Mahomes,
and Warnoon.
you did Montana already, so who else you putting in there? Trent Green?
Warren Moon. He played 2 seasons. Okay, now this is a character that probably only Kenny remembers well and fondly.
Oh, an old guy.
Oh God.
I'm scared.
Did they wear helmets?
Grant Tarkington?
They did wear helmets, but not much. Okay, let's see. Let me
We
find
talking
his
like back
stats.
with 60s or something football range?
See, I wish
One
that I
was born
didn't
in-
have the. I wish it was part of the channel because I don't want to blurt out. But I know half of these answers before you even are done. But I realized I can see the picture now, so I didn't want people to think I was cheating.
You do get to see it.
Yeah,
This
I can
is
see it. so-
freakish.
But the
He was
ones I
born in
answered, I
Pittsburgh
did
also.
not know that was down. I just noticed it like 1 or 2 quarterbacks ago.
How does Pittsburgh produce so many great quarterbacks? He was born in Pittsburgh in 1933.
Oh, what's his face?
6'1", 194 pounds. He had 40,239 yards and 290 touchdowns for an era that did not pass much. It's crazy. You guys will just pop it because
You got to be
poor Kenny
Unitas.
already gets to see him.
Is he a
Yes,
commentator now?
Unitas.
Oh, leave him.
Johnny.
Johnny U. Okay, well, since Kenny's the only one that cheered for him, should we just go with whatever score he goes with?
As long as it's a good one.
I guess, yeah.
I'll give him a 9.
No, Okay, forget it. Okay, are you giving him a 9?
Mm,
Well, let's hear Bentley's take on him because I have no take. Does anybody else have a take?
Before my time.
I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye.
Any
So-
opinions?
Did not
Okay.
you watch the history of football? Do you not watch?
Yeah, see, I like the
NFL
history of
does
football.
the
Here's
history
my
of
problem. Here's my problem with Unitas. Yes, he was in an era where passing was really not a thing. It was more about the running game. He has a nearly equal touchdown to interception ratio. I cannot possibly give him the amount of love that I'm sure the historians will like beat themselves off to. So I'll put him at a solid 5 for raw skill. It's a team sport, man.
back then, though, they also let a lot more physical play get away with compared to they do now or even 20 years ago.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
that's
they literally
true,
could
too.
get
Sure.
clotheslined. They could have get knocked down by their face mask. I think anything but the stabbing was legal back then.
Well,
I don't know a whole lot about him, but with what little I do know, I mean, there's like multiple awards also named after the guy too. Not that that always goes for jack squat sometimes, but I mean, it's I'm dancing between a 6 or a 7 on him.
okay, you pick 6 and I'll pick 7.
Let's see here. Mike in chat's already dropped an 8 for him in chat.
Whoa.
I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay, Skip.
I'm going to give him a 6.
6.
Oh my God.
And now it's up to the
I just vomited in my mouth. Are you kidding me, Scuba Steve? I've got to bring this one up. To
I was just
publicly
about to point
shame
that
you.
out too.
What the
Kenny.
hell are you thinking, son?
Now put Daniel up there real quick because I'm with Daniel here. It's like I
Yeah.
didn't even watch those two, and I'm like, my pick is Barry Sanders. Yes, nothing against the Bears. I'm just saying Barry Sanders did just as much, and that offensive line that Barry was behind was crap.
Well, another name everybody seems to skip over that should be talked about, at least top 5 running backs, is Adrian Peterson.
I was waiting for you to say that.
But he's no sweetness is number 1. I don't care who.
My number 1 is Barry.
I
I
like
got- my number
Walter
1 is
Payton,
Sanders.
man.
Peyton
for
number
another
2.
day. Okay,
Curtis
we
Martin.
still need Peplin's score.
5.
Wow.
5. That gives Johnny
I don't know.
Unitas a 46.
So, Bentley, what we have established is apparently our co-hosts do not follow the NFL History Channel where they talk about all the.
I mean, I
history.
basically made you want to throw up by saying Unitas is a 5, right?
Yeah,
Yet I do follow NFL history.
I don't know, man.
3-time MVP, 3-time NFL champion, Super Bowl champion of what, 5, 4, 5, something like that. I don't know, real early. And yet, trash quarterback. So, bring it on.
Next,
Hey, let me bring up his stats.
I'm waiting
But
for
there he
another
is.
old-time quarterback to talk about here, hopefully.
Well,
Broadway
this
Broadway
one
Joe.
had 67.7 completion rate, 80,359 yards, 571 touchdowns. He was an amazing guy.
That was a lot of
Well, he might still be. I don't know. But at least when it came to football, he was a good guy. Okay. Any guesses?
That many yards, it can only you've already done Peyton, so it can only be like Breeze or Manning at this point, or not Manning, but a
Could be
fucking
Eli.
Brady.
Breeze or maybe Favre.
I was thinking.
Eli.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the interception rate because that would be a giveaway. So it is Drew Brees.
Drew Breezus. Nice.
And I'm just going to give him
Judging by the crickets in the secular crowd here, I don't think anybody's put too much love on this guy.
I like
give
Breeze.
him a 6.
Breeze was good.
All right.
I'll breeze him off to a 6. I don't want to really think about it too hard.
I love the play. I love the word play.
I'm right there with you. I'm thinking of 6, Ed.
He's like the third all-time scoring guy, though.
But it's the offense and the coach that I believe made him what he was.
Oh,
Oh, Sean
Austin.
Payton, absolutely.
oh my gosh, he's younger than me. That's depressing. He was born in 1979. Okay, in Austin. So Austin, you guys kind of have a connection.
Mm.
Uh,
I have no clue where Ed's brain is at right now.
Bentley, he's
yeah, okay.
actually being pretty
Well-
reserved tonight. He's been actually behaving. I'm
Skipper.
actually shocked. I'm proud of Ed tonight.
you better knock on wood
Skipper.
there now, sir. You just jinxed that.
I don't know. Some of these things that Ed's saying are coming not even from left field. They're from like the bleachers outside of left field.
Why we have that?
They're
Any
like out in
opinions,
the
Skipper?
tailgate area.
I'm gonna give Breeze a 6. And one of the things I remember from watching him was I couldn't understand how in the hell he made those throws because he was shorter than the line in front of him. And the way he threw, it was just crazy.
I used to call it his stuck up mode because he'd always have his head tilted like this so he could see downfield.
it seemed like when he threw it was kind of sidearm too. Just the way it looked to me whenever I watched it, I'm gonna give him a 6.
Who did Scuba say 5 or did Mike say 6?
Mike said 6.
Okay. Mike says 6. Peplin says
I'm gonna go 7. I like Drew Brees. He did his
7.
job well.
He did.
Ooh, first
history
guy
in
to
New
break
Orleans,
the
too.
6 mold. What did Austin give him?
Boy, I really want to get him higher, but I'm sticking with the mold. I don't feel like I can say anything higher than 6. I mean, the dude did awesome. Gave New Orleans its first ever Super Bowl, which was cool. I mean, put him as a legend right there by itself. But I mean, I just knowing all the other quarterbacks out there, I can't do higher than 6.
I mean, his storyline, I would give him a 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
what he was
Oh,
able
yeah.
to accomplish.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, because you guys got to remember now, everybody thought this guy was done too when he went to New Orleans.
Exactly.
Mhm.
yeah, from San Diego back in the day. Yeah,
Yep.
Well, Bentley, what's your take?
So, there's a couple of things that are important about Breeze. We mentioned one. Obviously, as a not prototypically height quarterback, he broke a lot of stereotypes about what a successful quarterback can be. And now you are starting to see some of that influence on modern day NFL. You also see another important influence from Mr. Drew Brees, which is to say, consistency is more important than just being a gunslinger. He had much more than a 2-to-1 touchdown interception rating, just like how Kenny is like swallowing his mic at least two times for every one that he's not.
I love it.
And a
That's awesome.
67.7 completion rate is pretty nice too.
He has a high completion rate. More importantly, he has one of the highest passer ratings career in all time for football. And that's after a not solid start for the early portion of his career with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Right? His statistics were not as phenomenal. Still good, but not as phenomenal with the Chargers. So if you look at his late game ability, partially under Sean Payton, because Sean Payton, we know, offensive guru, but to blossom, it takes more than just pure coaching. It takes talent too. And so in that regard, I would give Brees a 7.
Ooh.
I'll agree with that. That's good.
So Drew Brees has a 44 total. Okie dokie. Let's drop it.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Mouse move. There we go.
There we go.
I'm the producer of the show.
Apple looks up like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, I'm shitting you. Oh,
Okay. This guy, I have to find. I wish I would have put these guys in alphabetical order or something for their stupid stats. No, I must have went by him too fast. Okay, this guy made it to the Hall of Fame. Well, they all did that. But he had a 62% completion rate, 71,838 yards, 508 touchdowns. He was from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Did he not win Super Bowl
53?
for Minnesota?
Nope. I think I
don't
know
think
exactly
he-
who you're talking about, Ed.
who is
All
it?
right, so
Harvey.
And the guy is
Harvey.
Diggity
They
beat.
both had it.
Avra.
Brett Favre. Now, let's hear Bentley. Bentley always goes last. Let's hear him first, because we know that he doesn't like gunslingers that throw interceptions. Let's see what his
Choose
take
your
on
words
Favre.
wisely, Mr. Bentley.
Bring it on, freak boy. So let's talk about one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Oh my God!
Brett
Is he going there?
Scumbag Favre. He is
Got it.
close to hurling as many interceptions as he did touchdowns.
He did.
He refused to admit that his body couldn't handle it anymore and kept trying to play for team after team. He's as much of a drama queen as the quarterback that has followed him, and regardless of the number of accolades, because I will say that at least Aaron Rodgers is a significantly better talent than Brett Favre, this guy is deserving of the number on his chest.
Whoa!
Minus 3.
Ooh.
You're giving him a
Bullet.
1?
Yes. I
Wow.
would take any quarterback in Seahawks history over Brett
Oh,
Favre. And we've
my
had a
God.
number of stinkers.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
Maybe Craig
hard.
Little Hand.
Even Dave Little Hands Craig, baby. All
He
day
probably fumbled
long.
more than he fumbled more than I bet Favre intercepted.
Well,
No,
unlike
that's bad.
Bentley,
We didn't play that many years.
and he apparently they didn't watch this guy because he wouldn't say what he said. But just based on pure heart and tenacity and the love of the game that made him play later in his years, absolutely. Wore a Vikings jersey. I got to give the guy a 9. And that's not because he's overrated. It's because he had the heart of a linebacker in the QB's position, man. Favre was not scared. If any of you, the play that I remember that Favre did that absolutely blew my mind is when Ray Lewis came and gave him a whack. I mean, whacked him. And Favre got up before Ray did, got in Ray's face. That's the way you hit, shaking his hand.
Most people, Ray Lewis whack died.
Yeah. Favre popped up. And like I said, the guy had an absolute
I almost died.
linebacker mentality playing quarterback. And for that, I give him a 9.
Okay. How about you, Skip? Oh, wait, no. Let's go to Austin. He needs to argue his facts.
Yes, let's
or
get Austin.
argue his love.
I would like to point out that before certain man that we actually we talked about him first, Marino, who was the man that broke literally every single one of his records? The touchdowns, the passing yards. Not to mention the fact, I know what he said by quote when Aaron Rodgers came into the picture saying, it's not my job to teach him. He doesn't have to teach him. When you work behind a Hall of Famer, you watch. And clearly he did because Rodgers turned pretty well. So the fact that he got the Packers to 2 Super Bowls, however many NFC North championships, including the Vikings, for God's sakes, to the NFC Championship, which is a miracle by itself. Sorry, Kenny. But I give Brett Favre an 8.
Oh.
Not quite a 9 because, yes, the interceptions are not something you can ignore. But when you play for 20 years in the league,
You're gonna get intercepted once in a while.
All right.
Wow, Mike
Well-
gave Favre a 6. Oh, excuse
Mike.
me, a 5. I thought it was a 6. It's a 5.
and I agree with Scuba Steve-O's comment earlier because a lot of people have said that.
What did Scuba Steve-O say?
He looks like Austin if he got a haircut.
Wow.
And if I was shaved.
Oh,
I mean, if you've seen
Well, there
Brett
you
Favre
go.
as of late, he's got
maybe
a
this'll
beard game going on.
clean up your act,
Oh, yikes.
Austin.
Well,
You
we'll
need
see.
to buy some clothes with
Now,
copper
Peplin-
built in it.
You got to be careful how you rate this guy because you're living in his country up there. So you better be somewhat nice. Peplin. He's just,
Who we on? We on me?
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
You, sir. You, sir.
I like Brett. I watched him a lot. I'm in Wisconsin, so I've seen a lot of his games. He was very entertaining. Another one that drug it out about 4 years too long. He would have been better if he would have retired earlier.
Yeah.
But I did like him. I'll give him a 7.
Wow.
One more thing
Wow,
that I should
Pepper.
also add. I don't like doing this, but I'm actually going to change mine up to a 9 because Brett Favre is also the reason I became a Packer fan. My first game, he broke his hand. What did he do? Unlike a lot of other
Pop some Vikings.
unlike a lot of quarterbacks today that would just sit down and not even play, Brett Favre taped that son of a gun up. He went out there and he still threw 300 yards with barely like one hand. So
That game when his dad died.
yeah, and his
That
dad
was-
was
Remember
the
that
Raiders,
game.
which I don't talk about that game much because my father-in-law is a Raiders fan and he hates that game with the world's bloodiest
Yeah.
passion. So I try to not talk about that game too much because I don't. Well, yeah, got to keep the family happy.
Well, anybody can beat the Raiders even with a broken hand, so that really doesn't
Oh,
score you many
God
points in my book.
almighty.
But
I
okay,
should. Now that almost invites an invite from a Raiders fan.
Skipper,
6.
a 6. And you know what? I'm doing the same thing. I'm giving him a 6. just because he was fun to watch.
He was fun to watch.
He was.
Good or bad. He was fun to watch.
He had a lot of character in him.
It'll be
He
fun to
still
watch him
some-
lose a lot of lawsuits.
I won't disagree with that.
He still managed to score one more point than Drew Brees, 45. That's crazy. Those
Sacrilege.
nines really helped. Okay, let's drop this guy down. What picture? What in the world do we have in the background? Guys,
It's like a brick. Like
No,
three
it's,
from
what's,
wall
it's
style.
our logo.
Lights.
Whatever.
God, carpet.
all right. We'll worry about that in a minute.
Ed, did you look up in the upper corner? It's been up there all night.
Yeah, who's that dude?
Okay. Let me
Oh my
look up
God. And
his numbers. Yeah. I lost his number. Oh,
oh, Ed, what the hell?
What the hell is this?
No,
guy.
Sorry.
Drew for
Ed, I was
40
bragging you up, and you're gonna take us here now?
Oh my
this
God.
guy threw for 89,214 yards and 649 touchdowns. And some
my
of them were
God.
legit. Any guesses?
I didn't even hear a word you just said.
That would be Mr. Boss himself.
Kenny, I don't want to click this.
Click it up. You got to do it.
Oh, this poor guy.
I swear to God.
Tom Brady.
Oh my God, man.
That's fucking great.
Well, Bentley, all the stuff I was talking about, how Ed was behaving all night, it's all went right to the gutter now.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this content, be sure to click the subscribe button, hit the bell for more content like this.
Holy
He
shit.
got 7 rings. He owns about every QB title there is, bikini and all. I'll give him a 10. You reading my lips? 10.
10.
And so you all don't
Okay.
think I was bluffing. There he is, number 1 on Kenny E's all-time ever quarterbacks.
Well, that ain't gonna happen tonight.
Okay, well, Peplin, what are you giving him?
A 1
Oh,
because I don't
what?
like cheaters. Cheated against my
There you
team, so he ain't
I
getting
think he
nowhere.
managed to cheat against every team in the league,
Well, yeah.
except for one.
Now, again, because I hear this every week, cheater, cheater, cheater. Let me tell you guys something. So he got caught. Every team in the NFL cheats. I don't care what team it is. They are trying to get the upper hand on how to win. I don't care what
Bengals
anybody says. There is cheaters in
2019,
every-
they had a fake reporter watching the Bengals practice, the worst team in football, in 2019. In 2019, whoops, that's the same thing. In 2015, they had something called Payton Gate, where they said that the locker rooms were bugged. In 2015, they had headskate set gate, where they were knocking the coaches' headsets out at the last part in the fourth quarter.
Ed,
In
Yeah, but wait a minute.
2014, they had Deflate Gate.
did
Time
you know
out.
you're supposed to be live right now?
2009, Spygate. In 2005, they had something called Eagle Gate, where they stole the playbook and recorded the Eagles play before the Super Bowl. They recorded their practice. So, and that's just, a taste of his wins throughout his career with the Patriots.
Okay, I got to say something about this. You got to look beyond that because it all was not his fault.
Right.
Okay, you got to look beyond that because minus the football thing, but the deflation thing, but everything else was his coach.
Not
And
the deflate balls.
Huh?
The deflating the balls. At the beginning of his career, he's on a radio station in one of the local colleges talking about how he deflated balls to make it easier for his receivers to catch them. He bragged about it.
No.
And then he also cheated against the Patriots when he went to Miami to negotiate a contract with them before he was still under contract with New England. Just an awful lot of cheating around his career. The only Super Bowl
That's only what he got caught doing. That's only what he got caught.
Right. So I'm saying he got one legitimate touchdown with Tampa Bay. I'm going to give him a 1.
That's my boy. Everybody's speechless.
Anybody else? Skipper, what would you like to score him?
I want to give him a 7.
Whoa. Okay. Was there
Despite-
anything from the group?
Despite all that, well, you had a negative 20 and an 11, but despite all that, the whole cheating thing, when there was no cheats, he still delivered. So I'm gonna give him a 7.
What? And he
I don't
also
blame-
had an amazing
I can't
career
blame
with
all
Lang.
that on him. You know what I mean? I can't blame all that on him. So now, if we're talking about now, this past year, it'd have been way worse than that. But in his prime, I'm going to give him a 7.
That's fair.
What do you think,
Did we
Mr.
get a-
Bentley?
Oh, yeah, Bentley.
I think for those of you who are rating Tom Brady low based on let's be fair here. I have all the reason in the world to hate Tom Brady. Right?
Right.
He was able to dissect one of the best defenses in NFL history. The Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom is one of the best anti-passing defenses ever to play this game. They had, in the 2 years that we went to back-to-back Super Bowls, one of the best pass rushes, points allowed, period. Statistically speaking, they were better than nearly any other team, and that is in an era where penalties are significantly in favor of the offense, not the defense. If you account for the era of play, they are better than the Purple People Eaters. They are better than the Steel Curtain. They are better than the Bears. Statistics do not lie. And this son of a bitch tore them apart.
I had to get my feet up off the ground. The shit was getting pretty deep in here all of a sudden.
Mm.
I mean,
Stats don't lie,
if they
Kenny.
didn't know
Math
that-
doesn't lie. Dude, you were talking about one of the greatest people mentally. Fuck the cheating nonsense. You were talking about one of the best players to ever play this game. He had a ruthless, absolutely ruthless attention to defenses, opposing teams, schemes, everything. This is a guy who could read anything and everything and beat them all.
And what's funny, Bentley,
He has
less than
almost every statistical thing you can go for, played for a ludicrous number of years
But-
at an extremely high level the entire time. And to top all of that off, unlike every other quarterback in modern day, he knew, don't take the money because then you get more talent around you and you win more rings.
And you make the money off the field.
Yes, sir. I have all the reason in the world to hate this smug son of a bitch. The problem is he's not smug. He's actually a pretty nice guy, and he's a fucking amazing quarterback. 9.
Wow.
There are no
Not bad,
perfect quarterbacks from me. There are no 10s. They don't exist. Tom Brady's about as fucking close as you get.
I'm gonna agree
What
with
did
Bentley what he said.
Oh.
I'm not changing my number.
Did you see Ed's reaction? He
Oh.
was like,
No, I'm not changing it because I can't rate him as high as the guys that I rated higher that played before him. But I agree with what Bentley said before he said his number.
I agree with a lot of the things that Ben
It's
said.
a-
My life is dated, dude. I can't ignore statistics.
yeah.
No, I
And
get
Great.
that. I
I
get
Yes,
it.
can't
the
ignore
ultimate-
cheating.
I get it.
He is the ultimate team guy. He understood the team concept, period.
If you're that good, why do you cheat? That's what I'm wondering. If you're that good, why are you cheating? You shouldn't have to cheat.
Well, he may not have been as good as Bentley felt when he destroyed his team, but he had the playbook, so he knew what defenses were going to go up against him.
Didn't have the Seahawks playbook, but okay.
You don't know. You do.
How do we know?
Best defenses in
Right.
NFL history.
But so Ed, you're saying
Love the Legion of Boom. No disrespect there, but
All I can
he's-
say is we better hope and pray to God Mahomes never gets caught cheating, Ed, because you are never going to hear the end of it.
The reason
he
why
won't
they
either.
lost that Super Bowl,
He
though,
won't
I
either.
would argue,
Yes, he
isn't so
will.
much because of that defense. They lost because Pete Carroll forgot they had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, right. There it is, right there.
Run
I mean,
the ball, Pete.
1 yard pass at the goal line.
I mean, passing on the 1 yard. How do you not give it to? at
Okay,
that
so
point,
he
the
gives
best
up
running
that. He
back
still
in
had
the
6. So
NFL?
next,
No. Hold
you
on.
know what?
We'll dive into this. Hold on. We can dive into this. I'm fine with that. Because I'll put Marshawn in the top 5 running backs of NFL history.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You just needed to run a halfback dive.
The thing you can focus on one play. Every coach makes mistakes. Every coach, the best coaches make fucking mistakes.
True.
I screamed my brains out for I think 3 hours straight on my couch, watched my significant other leave the room, my pets leave the room, members of my family who were there for the night leave the room, while I kept vehemently screaming at a TV I had turned off. So believe me, there are few people who can understand 2nd and 1 pass the ball with the fury and anger that I can. However, if you look throughout the entirety of that game, as much as I dislike saying it, Brady eviscerated our defense. Every time he needed to play in the clutch, he knew where to throw the ball because he could just read what we were doing. And that's not knowing the playbook. That's not stealing the playbook. That's
Would be.
years and years of being one of the most
and I've
dogged,
heard people-
learned members of the NFL. That guy watches more tape than anyone fucking else in the league. I hate the Patriots.
Hearsay.
I hate the Kraft family. That guy studies. That guy is an absolute. Listen to his interviews when they ask him complex football questions. He answers them like he is a doctor of the field, like he has degrees on degrees in useless football bullshit, because the man is just fucking smart and studies his brains out. Oh, and also, he's a good physical talent. Can he throw the ball as far as Elway? No. Is he as big and tough as Ben Roethlisberger? No. But he throws more touchdowns, less interceptions, more yards, more consistency, reads the defenses better, makes less stupid fucking decisions than Brett Favre ever could hope to. I'm sorry, man. You can hate the guy, you can hate the team for whatever the fuck they're doing. Every team tries to cheat. All of them. All of them look for whatever advantage they can take. And I hate it because, unfortunately, the Patriots are probably the most obvious of a lot of them. But that does not change his ability on the field. That guy's so fucking good, the refs do shit for him.
And the reason
They
that
name
the
their
Bucks
children
don't
after
get
him.
caught or the
referees
Falcons
name their
don't get
children
caught
after him.
is because they don't win, so they have no spotlight on them. If
My
you
battery's
win
about to
as
die.
many
I'll be right
Super
back.
Bowls as they've won, you're going to have spotlight on you. They're going to look for doubt why you won. Here's another thing. We keep talking about this Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. Had they gave the ball to Lynch, he scores a touchdown, still would have left about a minute and a half on the clock. My bet is Brady would have came and marched that team back down the field and took the damn Super Bowl anyway. End of story.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if they would just put an asterisk like they do in baseball, I'd have no problem with it.
Yeah, I'll say he's the greatest of all time as long as you acknowledge he was a cheater.
Yes.
Absolutely,
So-
100%. 100%.
Let me ask you.
He's a cheater. Any other
Let
sport
me
or
ask-
anything else, you get caught cheating, you're not allowed to play anymore. He's still
They
playing
crucify other
many
players.
times over. But he is the greatest football player of all time. But he cheated. That's it.
Okay, can I ask you an important question?
Yes.
If we go back on tape and look at every single Super Bowl and dissect them, or let's go to the extreme and dissect every single game in NFL history in which we have enough film to do so, and find every bad call by a referee that has favored any of the quarterbacks on this list. Will you change your opinion of that quarterback the same way that you hold a venomous opinion of Tom Brady?
No, because that's a call on the that's a call on the ref. That ain't the
The same-
quarterback cheating. That ain't the quarterback cheating. That's not
Prove
it.
it? Can you prove it?
Yeah, it's been proven.
punished.
They lost draft picks. They
Been
got
proven.
suspended. It's been proven many times.
No,
Me
Many
being a
times.
military
Yeah.
man, I understand
listen,
the power
listen
of chain
to
of
what I'm
command.
saying. There is a long thought conspiracy that the NFL is rigged.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. Huh.
So, is it not justifiably cheating when you can have objective calls? Look at some of the things that have happened in the most recent last couple of years of pass interference calls. Bullshit.
Oh,
Pass
yeah.
interference calls in massively important games. The last game of Drew Brees' career, the last play of Drew Brees' career got fucked by one of the most egregious missed pass
That's the
interference
league,
calls
not the
known to
player.
man. Is it?
Well, then
'Cause-
we ought to just rate everybody a 5 because it's a league, not a best over player.
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
just
We're ranking
saying.
individual players, not league here.
All right, let's agree to disagree. Move on to the next because this is going to get into a
Hold on.
battle.
Hold on.
We
Hold
never
on.
got the group. We never got the
Let's
group
say,
pick.
I never gave mine
Or
number.
Austin.
What? So, Austin, you didn't.
Now, I'm not going to go over because, I mean, a lot of things that I was going to say have already been said. Here's my thing. Did Brady cheat for some of them? Yes. Is Brady a good quarterback? One of the best to ever play the game? Yes. So, here's my thing. We once said it. It's almost like Barry Bonds, like with the home run record.
Yeah.
I hold Tom Brady that, yes, he is definitely one of the greatest to play the position ever. Cheating, no cheating, whatever it is, he's one of the best to ever play. However, I still put an asterisk by his name because it's like, yeah, okay, so other people cheat. It's like, okay, if you got caught cheating one time or even twice, learn after your past damn mistakes and don't get caught again. I will give Tom Brady a 5.
Wow.
He
And
is
we still
good.
don't have one
But
from
hey,
the
hold
audience.
on. My next key thing, though, is who are all the coaches that Brady won Super Bowls with? 6 were with Belichick. His other one was just another great by the name of Bruce Arians. And yes, I understand Brady was kind of on his decline and on his way out on that final year with the Buccaneers coach. I can't remember his name, which is kind of the next point. look what happened when Brady wasn't with a Hall of Fame coach. I'm not saying that's the reason why he didn't do well, because yes, Father Time is undefeated, but I'm just saying he also had 2 Hall of Fame coaches leading the way there too when he got those Super Bowls.
That's a good point. But
Well,
Glare.
what's the crowd say?
so we
11.
we had an 11 by Whips.
My glasses aren't very good. I just see a 1.
Scuba Steve gave him 11, and then Mike gave him a minus 20. So
There's no negatives, so we're gonna go with 10.
Or 2.
10.
You could subtract the 22 from the
Ed,
20,
Ed,
comes
wait.
up with 2.
Ed, it's a 10.
5
We'll
for the
give
Super
him a
Bowl
10.
number he should have had.
It's one of the most controversial quarterback things of
Oh yeah, always will be.
Oh yeah,
It's always
gotta-
going to be that way. But
You got a
look at-
43.
Screen here, like
you
damn.
gotta look at it a different way. The dude, when there was no cheating involved, he still delivered. Okay, he still delivered. I'm just saying.
Brian and Ed, man, they're just foaming at the mouth.
I don't know. I don't like cheaters. I just don't.
Okay.
I know.
But I could say plenty more too, and I'm just saying, if we want to talk about the GOAT of quarterbacks here, give me a reason why Tom Brady also would be. I mean, okay, yeah, the 1 would be there too, but a lot of people want to say 7 rings. Here's my thing about rings. Rings are not an individual stat. There are 10 other players on the field with you. If we're talking about like the quarterback by itself, yes, Tom Brady owns a lot of records. It's the same thing as Favre, like how he beat Marino's records. He's been playing forever. But the other part is, I mean, we talk about quarterback rating. Who owns that record right now?
Tell us.
Aaron Rodgers.
Bingo.
Okay. Well, speaking of, we've got one last guy on the list. He is an amazing guy. Everybody loves him. With all of his talents, it's amazing to separate them from his football stats. But his football stats were 27,989 yards with 212 touchdowns. He's a Hall of Famer, and I don't know how many Super Bowls.
What years
I
did he
think
play?
4. It doesn't give me that, but he is from
Bradshaw.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, Lord.
Brett Favre again?
No.
When he said Mississippi earlier, it's like, yeah, he was a Mississippi boy because then he went to Southern Miss because that was his only D1 offer, etc. But
Henley just nailed it.
Are you not talking Archie Manning?
Archie Manning never won a Super Bowl. It's Terry Bradshaw. Come on,
Yeah.
4 rings.
He's
Pay
from.
attention. Pay attention.
Oh, yep. And there he is on his record label.
I had Bradshaw 1, 2, 3. I had him 6 all time.
Let's see if I can make this bigger. Darn, I was hoping I could make this bigger.
You can't just hit
Yeah, we get the
your.
idea.
Huh. Oh well, I don't know how to make it bigger. Well, people just take it for granted that that's him on his record label.
there you go.
I love Terry. I never really got to watch him play, but I love him as an announcer. Next year, he's going to be announcing or be on a council or whatever. What's it called? A broadcast test? No, they don't broadcast. The group of guys that like to talk, Terry and Howie.
Color
and,
commentary.
yeah, the commentary guys. He's going to be there with Tom Brady, one of our favorite quarterbacks.
Oh, God.
So, but Terry Bradshaw, I don't know much about him, but I'm going to give him a 5.
I'm going last on this one.
I'm going to give him an 8.
I probably should have given him a better score already from Kenny's score. I wish I wouldn't have went first.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
Terry
just went middle
Bradshaw
of the
didn't
road.
have the best completion rating, though, did he?
No, he didn't. 51.9%.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a pretty not great.
I guess
rating.
my soft spot, guys, is the quarterbacks that have linebacker mentalities. And then he's
Hey,
another
that's
one.
fair.
He was a tough son of a gun. I don't care how many times you whacked him. He was like the weeble wobbles that don't fall down, buddy. He'd get whacked, he'd get up, and he played in a very brutal era of the NFL where just
Yeah.
about anything, like you said, not stabbing or shooting him on the field was pretty much legal. I got a lot of respect for the guy.
Sorry.
Okay, well, Peplin, you're up.
How do you, yeah, I was gonna say, how you gonna go seconds to that laugh, Pep? I feel bad for you now.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. Right,
Nice, my man. Pep's on the same side. Look at there.
Okay. Austin?
I mean, I'm with you guys. I mean, he was one of those quarterbacks that when he ran, he didn't shy away from contact, which
No,
I love that. I mean, it was kind of like what Big Ben used to do and all that. It's also like what some other guys like Steve Young or Steve McNair used to do, hence why they got hurt. But at the same time, completion rating, though, is another big part of the quarterback. I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
Bentley.
Bentley.
Fun statistic for Terry Bradshaw. Touchdowns, 212. Interceptions, 210.
Oh,
Yeah.
Completion percentage, garbage. Passer rating, barely into the 70s. However, as well stated before, he plays in an era where basically quarterbacks don't throw the ball because people are being maliciously assaulted on the field on the regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I go to a much more modern school of football thought when it comes to evaluating the quarterback position. Because we're in a portion of the NFL, and a majority of my time in the NFL, despite my love of NFL history, is spent in an era where if you're a quarterback, you better throw that ball damn well. However, I love Terry Bradshaw in the booth, so I'm gonna give him a 6. I would dog him otherwise, but like I love that guy in the booth. He just makes my ass laugh. I can't help it.
All right.
he's amazing. I love him too.
But it's garbage bourbon.
Skipper, it's your show now. Let's go.
I gotta give him a 6 also.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because oh man, from what I've watched in the past and known what they could have gotten, and they passed it, and then for me, it's just a 6 because I think they could have did better than Terry Bradshaw.
And this right here shows you how bad the great state of Pennsylvania is at beating up their own quarterbacks. I mean, if you play for Philly or Pittsburgh, you are screwed if you have a bad night. I'm going to say that right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to tell you how I see it.
You don't love your quarterbacks either, Kenny.
Hey,
Yeah,
I got a good reason. Hello.
You know damn well he ain't putting Kirk Cousins up on a pedestal.
I think one thing we should also pay attention to, because Jennifer Weaver at chat has this correct. Bradshaw played in the era of Pittsburgh being the most ridiculous, dominant defensive team out there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And while, yes, everybody could basically murder each other, I'm sure like Myles Garrett would have done far better in this era of the league where he could club people with a helmet. But
Here's a fellow Steelers fan, and look at him. He's mouthing off.
I know.
Did you even get to see the man play?
Like I said,
none of us are 900. Come on, man. Except Kenny.
Oh my God!
But it's just like it's one of those things
I
where
thought I would see the day where I'd be the oldest person on the street, and here I am.
We think you're cool.
Yep.
so what happens when you
James
spend so much time
Franklin.
at a fish club, you forget that like it's not just old fogies everywhere, man. Come on.
He's a young guy.
I think Daniel is the first person. Did he put in on this one, or was that on?
He put
It
it
was
on.
Tom
He put a
Brady.
7 on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I've got a
So-
bone to pick with you, Ed.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay, there's 2 quarterbacks that were in my top 10 that even make this list.
Well, there were.
First one
there's-
being Troy Aikman.
Okay.
I think the guy deserved
Okay,
to be on this list.
He's on my piece of paper.
And his second person was Fran Tarkenton.
Steve Young. Oh, well, there's also Steve Young and Joe Maynard
Yeah.
that didn't make the list.
Broadway Joe.
Yeah, because I went with the top 15 of Google. That's all I did was pick Google's.
So before we leave, Ed was okay. You already said you're 2 that didn't make the list. Skipper, was there anybody that was not on this list today that you wish was?
I wish I could say that I had a list because I didn't do my homework.
Oh my goodness, Bentley.
For quarterbacks, I would have liked to see how everyone would have assessed Fran Tarkington, just because he doesn't get as much love as like the many Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that are out there, and yet he established basically a style of football that is becoming more and more common in the modern era, and he did it back when people were basically like getting their knees taken out from under them, and
Yeah.
somehow kept doing it.
And
Mr.
Patty would like us not to forget OJ.
Mr.
We won't.
Mr. Austin.
Wait, this is how OJ runs, right?
Oh
We
my
didn't,
God.
we didn't assess running backs. It's okay.
Austin, we're up.
Hey.
Anybody that's not on the list you wish would have been.
Say again.
Anybody that you don't feel that's not there that should have been.
I got 2 of them, and we actually mentioned one of them. I mean, all the off-field, all the shenanigans aside, I would say Michael Vick would be one.
Ooh.
The other one,
See, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. That's why he wasn't on this list.
all right, well, I mean, yeah, based off what he did
still, you're
off
not-
the field and all that, how could you
And-
put that dude in there? I mean,
He was a
And
game
I
changer.
added Brady, and he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he will be.
He will
the
be.
second guy, and this is another early guy, but it is the only quarterback to win 3 championships in a row. Anybody know?
Championships or Super Bowls?
1 NFL championship and then 2 Super Bowls after.
Bart Starr.
Star.
Art Starr, that is correct.
Oh God. All right, you're up. You're up there, Peplin. Is there anybody that's not on the list you wish would have been?
Vinny Testaverde.
Oh, wow. All right, with that, it's a wrap.
Actually, one more.
So,
I would
Ed,
also like to assess Steve
He's
What
Young.
are
the
we
best
thinking?
backup quarterback out there.
What are we thinking for next week, Ed?
Running back
Well,
receiver.
do you guys want to keep doing this where we talk individuals? We could talk about the greatest teams of all time. We could talk about,
The best
Defense,
defense
we
of
could go-
all time?
I mean, Patty just brought up OJ. We've talked about running backs. We could do
I would
running
love
backs.
for us for next week, though. Let's flip it to the other side because I'm a defense guy. That's my love, defense.
I
Why
think
don't-
we
why
should
don't-
assess all of the players with the worst criminal ratings.
Oh,
Ooh.
All the old Cowboys.
Yay.
whoa.
Cowboys gonna be number 1 on that list, right?
The entire 70s Cowboy defensive line.
Ravens.
I
Raiders
still
in there
can't
while
believe
we're at it.
Kamara's still playing.
Mm.
I mean, hey, top defensive lineman. I'm down for that.
Are we going to start with? Are we just going to go deep?
Yeah, you guys didn't hit either
team?
of the name QBs
Backs
from the
or-
Cowboys, eh? Because we didn't do Aikman and we didn't do Staubach, right?
No, we dissed them. Man.
I appreciate
Okay,
Cowboys.
Reggie
State.
White.
Austin, aren't you?
Aikman was good.
What did
he was
Aikman have?
on there.
Aikman had 3, didn't he? 3 rings?
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about Joe Namath either?
Nope, we didn't talk
No.
about Broadway Joe.
I mentioned him as an honorable mention.
Oh,
He had one lucky year that would.
Well, we're
No,
going
ring
on
the
over
ring.
2 hours, fellas.
another wild
Joe.
card here. Eli Manning.
Joe's another pantyhose guy,
Oh my goodness.
but the best or the highest rated quarterback today. That cannot be right.
Oh,
Montana.
Montana.
It's tied Whoa, wait, where's Montana?
63.
Montana is 63 with Montana. I was
I'm
about to
okay
say I
with
thought it was
that.
tied with Peyton Manning and Kirk Warner.
Who was second?
Kirk
'Cause
Warner
I-
and Peyton Manning tied.
I had Brady, Montana, 1 and 2.
In terms of quarterbacks, though, that now do broadcasting, though, since we were talking about Terry Bradshaw earlier, number one broadcasting former quarterback for me, Tony Romo.
No.
Ah,
no.
is he even a quarterback?
Well,
Romo,
I mean,
I would say
He
Romo's a
wasn't
lot better in commentary than he was on the field. I actually, sorry, man. You can go to all like your big I won X Super Bowls. Aikman is like listening to paint dry.
Oh yeah.
Romo at least has some character to him and is entertaining.
yes.
When I listen to
Aikman played in an era where they still
there-
can whack the bejesus out of the quarterback. Of course he talks that way because the man has no mental aptitude left. All he hears when the mic goes on is
it's just so boring.
He was.
So boring. That there are far better people to listen to.
the problem is his brain is moving so slowly at this point, Bentley. He's like 5 plays behind. He's commentating for a play that happened 5 plays ago.
Beat up.
I mean,
Beat up.
good old Chrissy Collinsworth might be like 840, but at least he's entertaining. Come on, man. It's like him and Phil Simms can duke it out for who's more boring. Oh,
So they want it's looking like the crowd is wanting us to go running backs next week.
I'm down.
We got a lot of people talking running backs. Let's
Strong.
do running backs next week.
I mean,
Top 10.
come on. It's basically just the argument of whether you think it's Walter Payton or Barry Sanders.
Well, there's one more name that should be in that conversation, and that is Adrian Peterson.
Jim Brown. Oh, what about Jim Brown?
Not for number one, buddy. I'm sorry. Peterson was
number
good.
one.
That
I'm
good.
saying there, he
Insane.
should be in the top 3 conversation.
The bus
period.
better be in there. That's all I gotta say.
My
Nah.
top
That
5.
is- heck
Well,
yeah.
I'll save it for next week. But yes, that's
Well-
really an interesting. That and receivers will be an interesting mix, I think.
And for Bentley, we got to have
So-
Marshawn Lynch and Sean Alexander in there.
No, not John Alexander. Fuck that guy.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
So this is
He was good when he could run behind Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson. And the second Hutchinson left, he was like, gain a yard, fall down. Gain a yard, fall down.
Yeah.
He got his big contract and he played like absolute fucking garbage afterward.
Another name that gets forgotten too that drives me crazy that people seem to forget is Roger Craig. Was a hell of a running back as well.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't say Eric Dickerson.
Amon Green was good, but he fumbled the ball too damn much.
Well,
I mean,
so guys, since
LaDainian
I'm the guy
Tomlinson?
making like all the little
LP.
pictures,
Yes.
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith, yep.
do you guys want to send me your 3 running backs each, and then I'll put them on a list and make sure that the photos are ready for it when we pop them?
Is this all time active or?
Or otherwise I'm just going to take the top 15 off of Google again.
Do the top. I think this made for interesting conversation the way you
I
did
like
it.
talk. I like
And then we can add Lib at the end like we did. We can give who we think should have made the list that didn't. But I think instead of doing like the top 15, do the top 10.
Chat. Look how happy
Okay.
that buffer is.
I'll be
that
mean
happy
and just do
buffer.
the top 10.
He's about 7.5 inches now. He's got a lot of growing yet to do.
Hey, I was gonna say this little boy.
Little baby Maboo.
Good color so far, though. That's how you know they're happy.
Half clams.
And you guys see
snail,
who the
snail.
tank boss is in the big boy tank. It's the Pleco up there eating before anybody.
I was gonna say the wood. The wood does not yield to anyone. Tank boss.
Right.
All right, guys.
All right, so we'll probably call this a night. We want to appreciate everybody for coming out. Come out next week to watch the top 10 running backs of all time. And
Now, is this non-active running backs?
no, all running
Any
backs.
running backs. Like
Let's just
present
do it like
day,
that.
past, whenever.
All running backs.
All
Okay.
running backs of all time, in your opinion. So each of you that may be on the panel next week, Make a list of your top 10 running backs.
Yeah,
Of
And you're
all
all
time.
invited.
now, I'm gonna forget to do that homework.
Well, you can just cheat and just have me do it for you.
So have Google do it.
I'll cheat,
Yeah.
I'll cheat like my
I'll-
home.
Just log into Chat
put-
GPT, put in who's the greatest top three running backs. You'll be fine.
Now, there's two things.
I figure it out for you. You'd be all right. Just let's
Couple
kind
of
of do
things
it.
I did want to shout out tonight. If you have not gotten your ticket for the raffle for that all-inclusive trip for two down to
It's
the
over.
Amazon Research Center,
It's over.
it's over.
Yeah, 11:55 p.m.
What's 9:40?
Well, you can donate money to them.
Was it?
That's 11:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, wasn't it?
No, that's wrong.
He lives in California, or
It
is he
should
doing
be-
Peru time?
It should be East Coast time.
I'm telling you, it's 11:55 p.m. Pacific.
It
Well,
is.
go and try and get your name in it if you haven't already. Buy your
You
ticket.
guys can still. I'm
If
sure
you
they'll
can still
take
buy
your
it, do it.
money. They'll take your money, and the drawing hasn't been yet. But second thing I wanted to shout out, our boy on our panel here, Mr. Skipper, next Saturday night, the eve of Easter, will be doing and starting up the Fish Fam auction.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot. No, I did not.
Well, maybe not then.
There's been a few emails. Yes. We're going to get Eastern Standard Time, not Pacific, 8 p.m. If you want to subtract 3, that gives you what? 5,
7.
3, 4, 2, 1, whatever. But yeah, we're getting it started back up, and we got some awesome stuff already. Like, it's going to be great. Listen, what it's all about is just whoever's breeding. You got some awesome quality fish. We want to get it out to people. If you get shipped, that's the only way we really want you on there, because you need to know how to ship. We don't want you just to sell something and ship it and it's dead.
And
You
we
know-
have two people up here that are in the auction. You got Mr. Peplin. What will you guys be offering up, Peplin?
Chopre Daniels and Pygmy Corys, I think it was.
Oh, pygmy
Yep.
cories. And I'll be offering up a pair, male, female, adult size zebra cara.
Boy, if I had it.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second? The
No.
raffle ends at 11:55 Pacific time.
Yeah, we already figured that
Go
out.
get-
So you have
I
time.
was messing with Kenny. I'm sorry. I was
And
telling
look.
him that the East Coast is the best coast.
I don't know. I moved away from it.
There's beds you can sleep in.
So me and Ed, we're not cuddling.
Okay,
Ed?
put that back up, Ed, because I think it's made for Peruvian people or something. I don't see my 6'4" frame fitting on that bed.
I say my feet are dangling off that damn thing.
You're right. You're right. You sleep in the fetal position.
Yeah,
No,
my
I ain't
my-
fitting on that thing, brother.
6'2" one direction and 5'5" the other direction's probably not going to fit either. But that's all
I
right.
think my elementary school bed was bigger than that.
No kidding. But it would be a trip of a lifetime. You can go collecting, you can go work in the research center facilities. They'll do whatever you'd like to do. They're going to be accommodating exclusive trip to the Peruvian area, Peru, beautiful area. I would love to go myself. I think that would be amazing. So just keep that in mind. It should be an awesome trip. Be sure to check out the Fish Fam auction. You can check out this guy below me every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The guy next to him, Mr. Austin, is every Monday, and that is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Am I right there?
You got it.
All right.
Wow,
Now,
your time
Peplin
is
still
amazing.
is his streaming, but his counterpart, who's probably just off screen there, she streams every Thursday. It has Foxy's Fishes, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Then we got
She's a
my boy
mermaid.
next to me, Mr.
7 and 4.
7 and 4. Okay.
Gotta
Well, that's
gotta
right.
watch the
AG
mermaids.
starts. That's right. There you have it. Skipper is every Sunday at 3 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Chattanooga Ed, just turn on YouTube. You're going to see him somewhere every week.
He's
That's
starting
fair.
to make me.
But his
that way.
official stream is every Thursday at 6:30. Are you going to be going that slot now, or are you going back to 7:30, Ed?
7:30.
Oh, 7:30.
So
I just did that
10:30
because James was sick.
Yeah. So anyway, our love is fish, but we all are football freaks as well. That's why we spun this channel off. If you want to come up and talk, you're welcome to reach out to Ed. Any one of us. We're all on Facebook and all that. We're all on Instagram. Reach out to one of us. We'll be more than glad to have you on the show. If you want to put your 2 cents in with the panel one night, you're more than welcome. That's what this channel is all about. So with all that being said, we're going to head out for this Friday night. It's 9:45. We've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes. As always, love your fish. I'm going to keep it my fish. Anybody else got anything before we head out?
Peace.
I'm coming armed with a bourbon next time.
Uh-oh.
Next week we're going for 3 hours.
Y'all have a good night.
Night, everybody.